12 blood donation centers across 6 states, all licensed by health departments, all accredited by blood banking associations, every donor screened, every unit tested, every pint saved lives. Community trusted them. Hospitals relied on them. But medical waste shipments weighed 340. The numbers didn't work. Blood donation produces minimal waste. Used needles, packaging, testing materials. Predictable quantities based on donation volume. These centers were shipping biohazard containers that weighed far more than their operations could explain. The waste wasn't matching the work. And when FDA Inspector Sarah Martinez started tracking the discrepancy, she found something that shouldn't exist in life-saving operations. The pattern emerged from routine compliance inspection, April 2023, FDA Blood Products Division. Martinez reviewed quarterly reports from licensed blood banks in southwestern region. Standard oversight, ensuring proper handling, verifying safety protocols, checking waste disposal compliance. Most centers showed expected patterns. Blood collected matched waste generated. Simple ratio. For every 100 units of blood donation, approximately 15 pounds of medical waste, needles, tubes, packaging, testing materials. The math was consistent, industry standard, predictable. But LifeStream Blood Services showed anomaly. Quarterly blood collection, 800 units. Expected waste, 120 pounds. Actual waste shipments, 410 pounds, 3 times expected volume. The discrepancy was massive. Martinez cross-referenced with other LifeStream locations. Same pattern everywhere. 12 centers, all owned by LifeStream Corporation, all showing identical waste-to-collection ratios, all shipping 300 to 400% excess waste. Combined quarterly overage, approximately 3,000 pounds of unexplained biohazard material. That's when compliance review became criminal investigation. Martinez contacted FDA enforcement. The waste volume suggested contamination or improper procedures. Medical waste is tightly regulated. Biohazard containers require specific transport, licensed disposal companies only. Chain of custody documented. The centers were following protocols, but the quantity was impossible to explain through normal operations. FDA coordinated with FBI. The waste shipments might conceal something. Biohazard containers have unique status. Nobody inspects them closely. They're sealed, marked with warnings, transported under special permits. Even law enforcement hesitates. The containers could be weaponized, perfect for concealing contraband. The medical designation provides protection. Special Agent Michael Torres took the case. The allegations seemed plausible but disturbing. Blood donation centers were sacred infrastructure, life-saving services. Community trust was absolute. Using them for trafficking would be moral violation beyond typical criminal operations. But the waste math was undeniable. Something was being transported in those biohazard containers. Something that wasn't medical waste. Financial analysis of LifeStream Corporation revealed concerning ownership. The company was acquired in 2020. New ownership through offshore holding companies. Purchase price, $40 million. Overpaid by industry standards. The centers were profitable, but not enough to justify the price. The acquisition made sense only if the infrastructure had value beyond blood banking. Torres deployed surveillance, monitoring waste disposal at 3 LifeStream centers: Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas, watching for patterns. The centers operated normally during business hours. Donors arrived, blood collected, professional service, everything legitimate. But waste disposal occurred after hours. Medical Waste Transport Company arrived typically around 9 p.m. After center closed, after staff departed, one person remained: facility manager, supervisor-level employee. They met the transport truck, loaded biohazard containers, standard procedure on surface. But something was different. The manager handled containers personally, didn't let transport workers touch them, loaded them carefully. Specific containers marked with small colored stickers, different from others. Surveillance teams noted the pattern. Not all containers went to transport trucks. The marked containers went to different vehicles, unmarked vans, no company logos. Those vans departed separately, different destination. The transport trucks took regular waste to disposal facilities. The vans took marked containers elsewhere. Torres obtained warrants for GPS tracking on those vans. 2 weeks of data showed pattern. The vans drove to warehouses in industrial zones, stayed 15 to 20 minutes, then departed. The warehouses were registered to shell companies with known cartel connections. The containers weren't going to medical waste disposal. We're going to cartel facilities. If you believe using blood donation centers to transport drugs in biohazard containers deserves maximum federal sentences, type justice below. FBI needed to confirm contents. Surveillance showed suspicious behavior. GPS showed suspicious destinations, but without proving drugs inside containers, prosecution faced challenges. Defense could argue improper waste handling, administrative violations, not criminal trafficking. The charges needed physical evidence. Undercover operation was complex. Biohazard containers couldn't be opened casually. Required proper facilities, safety protocols. But FBI arranged controlled interception, worked with licensed waste disposal company. When marked containers were loaded, FBI would intercept the van, transport containers to secure facility, open under proper biohazard protocols, document contents. If drugs found, arrest team would move. The interception occurred 3 days later. LifeStream, Phoenix. 9:14 p.m., facility manager loaded marked containers. Van departed. FBI followed. 2 miles from center, tactical team stopped the van. Driver detained. Van transported to secure facility. 3 containers with colored stickers were opened. Inside, biohazard materials on top, used needles, bloodied materials, packaging, standard medical waste, but underneath, sealed packages, vacuum-packed bundles. The containers were false layered. Top layer legitimate waste, bottom layer contraband. The biohazard designation provided protection. Even law enforcement would hesitate to open. Risk of contamination deterred inspection. Lab analysis confirmed. 37 kilograms of fentanyl, packaged precisely to fit container dimensions. Weight distributed to seem like waste. The system was sophisticated. The containers moved without suspicion. Nobody questioned medical waste. Nobody inspected biohazard shipments. The strategy was perfect camouflage. Torres expanded investigation to all 12 LifeStream centers, applied for warrants, GPS tracking on waste transport from every location. Pattern was universal. Every center had marked containers. Every center had separate van pickups. Every center was diverting waste to warehouses. The operation was systematic, coordinated across 6 states. Professional logistics using medical infrastructure. Estimation based on waste volume discrepancies. Approximately 3,000 pounds quarterly excess. Over 4 years, 12,000 pounds. 6 tons. Street value, exceeding $3 billion. The blood centers weren't just cover, were primary trafficking channel. The donation services provided legitimacy. The waste disposal provided transport mechanism. The system moved massive quantities without detection. The moral dimension was particularly disturbing. Blood donation centers exist to save lives. Donors give voluntarily. Community supports them. Trust is absolute. Using that infrastructure for trafficking that kills thousands represented profound ethical violation. The centers collected blood while shipping poison. The dual purpose was unconscionable. Torres coordinated with DEA and state health departments. The takedown required simultaneous action. 12 centers across 6 states, multiple warehouses, facility managers at each location, transport drivers, warehouse operators. Hitting one location would warn others. Evidence would be destroyed. Containers would be cleaned. Operation needed comprehensive sweep. Planning took 4 months. Timing was critical. Strike during waste disposal operations. When marked containers were loaded. When vans were departing. When evidence was mobile. Maximum vulnerability. Minimum warning time. Strike date, November 14th, 2024. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Evening disposal time. Federal agents deployed. Each center had tactical team. Each warehouse was targeted. Waste transport vans were tracked. Comprehensive coverage. Every element of operation would be hit simultaneously. At 9 p.m., operations began. Across 6 states, blood centers secured, facility managers arrested during waste loading, vans intercepted en routes, warehouses raided, federal agents, DEA, health inspectors. Everyone moved at once, coordinated across thousands of miles. Every target hit within 30-minute window. Searches revealed extensive infrastructure, modified biohazard containers, double-bottom design, false layers, professional construction. The containers appeared normal externally. Only internal inspection revealed hidden compartments. Financial records showed container modification costs, specialized fabrication, thousands spent per container. The investment indicated serious operation. Centers themselves appeared legitimate. Blood collected was real, tested properly, distributed to hospitals. That aspect of operations was genuine. The trafficking was parallel operation, using waste disposal as cover. The blood banking provided legitimacy. The community trust provided security. The dual function was strategic. Arrests totaled 89, 12 facility managers, 23 transport drivers, 34 warehouse operators, 20 cartel coordinators. Everyone connected to waste diversion operation. The facility managers earned substantial bonuses. Base salary from LifeStream plus $5,000 monthly from Cartel for handling containers. Over 4 years, some earned over $200,000 in bonuses. David Santos, facility manager at LifeStream Phoenix, cooperated during interrogation, explained recruitment. Cartel representative approached him after company acquisition, knew his position, knew his access, offered extra income. Just handle specific containers, mark them, load them differently. Simple work, good money. Santos needed income, had medical bills, family expenses. The $5,000 monthly solved problems. Santos claimed he didn't know contents initially, suspected drugs, but didn't confirm. Maintained plausible deniability, didn't ask questions, just followed instructions. Over 4 years, he facilitated approximately 1.5 tons of fentanyl transport. That quantity killed thousands. Santos's rationalization was thin. The harm was direct, the consequences were fatal. Federal prosecutors filed charges. Facility managers who coordinated operations faced 30 to 40 years. Using medical facilities for trafficking, corrupting life-saving services. The sentences reflected societal betrayal. Transport drivers faced 20 to 30 years. Warehouse operators received similar sentences. Cartel coordinators faced life imprisonment. Blood donation operations were suspended at all 12 centers. State health departments revoked licenses. Donors were devastated. The centers they trusted had been corrupted. Their voluntary contributions to save lives had been associated with trafficking operation that killed. The psychological impact was severe. Trust was broken. Many donors questioned whether to continue donating anywhere. LifeStream Corporation was dismantled, all assets seized. The blood banking equipment was sold to legitimate organizations. Facilities were decontaminated. Some were purchased by reputable blood banks. Others were demolished. The association with trafficking was permanent. The operations couldn't be rehabilitated under same name. Asset forfeiture totaled $200 million. The 12 centers, equipment, real estate, bank accounts, transport vehicles, warehouse properties, everything connected to LifeStream Corporation. The offshore ownership structure was traced. Funds recovered from foreign accounts. The financial network was destroyed. The human cost was measured in lives. The 6 tons transported over 4 years represented massive distribution potential. Fentanyl kills in milligrams. 6 tons is 6 million grams. Each gram produces hundreds of lethal doses. The mathematics of harm were astronomical. Tens of thousands potentially died from product that moved through those blood centers. The containers designed to transport life-saving blood components also transported mass death. Investigation revealed industry vulnerabilities. Blood bank waste disposal had minimal oversight. Centers self-reported quantities. Audits were rare. Nobody verified waste-matched collections. The system relied on institutional trust. That trust was exploited. Systematic infiltration, strategic acquisition, professional corruption. Reforms followed. Mandatory waste audits for blood banks. Quarterly inspections with verification. cross-referencing collection volume with waste generation, random container inspections by health departments, enhanced chain of custody for biohazard transport. The regulations that failed were rebuilt, but implementation would take years, and criminals adapt. New methods, new services, new disguises. Federal analysis examined blood bank acquisitions nationwide, looking for similar patterns: recent purchases, offshore ownership, excessive waste volumes, suspicious transport patterns. Review identified 17 additional blood centers worth investigating, some legitimate, some potentially compromised. The inquiries continue. This case proved that criminals target what society holds sacred. Blood donation saves lives. Centers are trusted? Absolutely. Nobody suspects them of harm. That trust created operational security. Cartels recognized it, purchased centers specifically for waste transport access, built trafficking operation inside life-saving infrastructure. The strategy worked because it exploited moral assumptions. Blood banks are good, therefore can't be bad. The contradiction was weaponized. Health officials emphasized that blood supply remained safe. The collected blood was legitimate, properly tested, safely distributed. The trafficking was separate operation using waste disposal. Recipients of blood products were not endangered. That distinction was critical. Public needed reassurance. Blood donation must continue. Lives depend on it. But donors struggled with the revelation. How could centers designed to save lives facilitate operations that kill thousands? The cognitive dissonance was severe. Trust in institutions was shaken. Questions emerged about other services. If blood banks could be corrupted, what about hospitals, pharmacies, emergency services? The paranoia was understandable. The violation was profound. Community blood banks emphasized their independence and transparency. Most were nonprofit, community-operated, long-standing reputations. No recent ownership changes. No suspicious patterns. They welcomed inspections, encouraged donor confidence. The industry worked to rebuild trust. But recovery would take time, and some donors might never return. Subscribe for investigations exposing hidden corruption in trusted medical services. Share if you believe health facility oversight must be enhanced. Like if corrupting blood donation for trafficking demands permanent accountability. This scheme worked too well, which means similar operations might exist. How many other blood banks have suspicious ownership? How many medical waste shipments carry more than waste? How many life-saving services have been quietly compromised? Stay vigilant.